Hello, today we're going to take a look at a blink and you'll skip it scene from Charles Dickens's A Christmas Carol, and we're going to bring to bear on it some easy to follow, easy win level 9 analysis. Finally, we'll roll it all together into some model paragraphs. Model paragraphs so beautiful that they'd wring a tear of joy from a glass eye. So, without further ado, let's dig in. As you probably know, that big, strapping joy machine, the Ghost of Christmas Present, takes Scrooge around the world, sort of like walking in the air style, we're walking in the air. And they see some poor people, some folk living in curdling poverty, enjoying themselves thoroughly with friends and family at Christmas. One such group that they visit is a big family of miners, all squeezed into this one creaky little hut. Now, mining is no primrose path to riches, let me tell you. You might get rich running a mine, but the poor schmoes wielding pickaxes, working for very little in cold, dark, screamingly dangerous conditions, they're making buttons. Their life is a soot-tinted veil of tears. And, so far, so blah. The old man sings, we're all having a jolly time of it. The message sinking in is that Christmas brings great joy regardless of people's socio-economic status. Doesn't matter if you're rich or poor, Christmas brings you big fun. Here's the wee passage from stave 3 that we're going to focus our attentions onto. So surely as they raised their voices, the old man got quite blithe and loud. And so surely as they stopped, his vigour sank again. Always irritated me, this scene, frankly, because my own karaoke endeavours are met with such derision. I've had friends, close family even, threaten physical violence if I don't shut my yapper. But I digress. Now, to fruitfully analyse this scene to level 9 specifications, we need to appreciate a contrast or perceive a distinction. When the old fella's family join in with the singing, the old man's volume and happiness levels rise. Whereas when the family pipes down, when it clams up, the old man's vigour, his vitality, his energy, that tails off. It sinks like a lead pig. And here's the bit to dazzle the examiner with. This scene shows, or one can infer from this scene, that the extent of your social interaction affects or determines your level of happiness. When you're feeling a strong sense of social bonds or family ties or communal unity, whatever you want to call it, that feeling ramps up your basic happiness, your life force, your vitality. However, when the family stops singing, that energy recedes. It's replaced by a sense of isolation or loneliness that's leeching your life force. And, bunging a connection to Scroogey Poo's fun-free, friend-free existence. Here's a man who wouldn't know a family bond if it stood up in his soup. And that message about the benefits of strong relationships gets hammered home into the hearts and minds of Dickens's readership. And so, in the spirit of propelling you towards the highest grades, have a look at this exam paragraph that shapes those ideas into examiner-pleasing prose. The red words there, if you can discern those, are simply words relating to the key term from the question, which is, of course, relationships. That's ensuring, of course, that I'm keeping my response task-focused. One of my students last year, who sashayed into the sunset with a level 9 in her back pocket, described this book as better than cheat sheets. Buy this book or don't buy this book. No offence. I couldn't give a tuppenny toot. It's already earned its corn for my students, and it can certainly work for you too. And to prove how versatile my analysis of that scene in stave 3 is, to prove that you can adapt it for a range of essay questions, cop this, I've adjusted my response in the face of another exam question, this time on emotions. Again, you've got the red, don't forget, that's just to draw your attention to the fact that I'm answering the question set. And a final piece of proof that our analysis of this section from stave 3 can accommodate a range of essay questions. Yay, Mr. Taylor, he's our man. If he can't do it, somebody else will. Final point now, for any one of those 3 prize-winning paragraphs that you've just seen, this one sentence bolt-on, tacked on at the paragraph's end, can only help your grade to shoot up like a bottle rocket, engaging, as it does, with a link to Old Scrooge. To conclude then, when you're on that awkward Part B question in the exam, when you're exploring a key theme or character from the novel, then you can use that scene with the musical miners to squeeze major marks from even the most flinty-faced of examiners. Right then, I'm off for a cup of coffee and a muffin the size of my head. I'll leave you good people today. Wish you the very best of luck in that exam hall.